Today we are discussing about nutrition in Hydra. Hydra, as we know, it belongs to phylum Coelenterata or phylum Cnidaria. This is the simplest group of multicellular animals. So they are aquatic and they are also simplest heterotroph. Hydra, if we see, that is called macrophagous. Now what is meaning of macrophagous? Means it feeds upon large food particles, like it feeds small other aquatic creatures like crustaceans, like small annelids, like larvae of some insects. This is a figure of Hydra, and we know if they are simplest because they are diploblastic. Diploblastic means their body is consisting of only two germinal tissue layers, one ectoderm and other endoderm. Ectoderm form is the epidermis, like this. This is the epidermis, outermost layer of its body, and next is endoderm. Endoderm forms gastroderms. Gastroderms is so called because its cells help in digestion. That's why this inner layer is called the gastrodermis. Now we see that it's a diploblastic, but it is not diploblastic because there is no another layer between these ectoderm and endoderm. But instead there is a jelly-like fluid, or if even a cellular, but they have very great space between their cells. So due to intercellular space, larger intercellular spaces, there is no true tissue layer in between ectoderm and endoderm. Hence it is called mesoderm. The third layer is called mesoglia. Not mesoderm but mesoglia. So its body is consisting of ectoderm and endoderm. And between ecto and endoderm, there is a mesoglia, not a true tissue layer. Now, other thing about this Hydra, we see that its body is cylindrical and attached to any substratum in the water. Now you see that cylindrical body attached to substratum, hence they are called sessile. And its mouth and its tentacles on upper surface of its body. And this type of form, this form of cnidarians is named as polyp. So Hydra is one of the polyp form because body is cylindrical, mouth tentacles is on upper surface. This mouth opening also serves as anus. Means mouth is used for ingation and anus is used for egation. It means both jobs are performed by this one exterior opening, that is acting as mouth or anus, means for ingation as the first step of the holozoic nutrition and egation as the last step of the holozoic nutrition. Both occurs from this one common opening, and this opening opens into a hollow cavity, hollow body cavity. This hollow body cavity is called coelentron or intron. It also called gastrovascular cavity because extracellular digestion takes place in this cavity. That's why it's called gastrovascular cavity. Intron or coelentron. Due to this intron cavity or coelentron cavity, they are also named as coelenterata. Surrounding the mouth, the tentacles. These tentacles help to paralyze the prey and also help in feeding or ingression. Tentacles have some specialized cells called cnidocytes which produce nematocytes. Now you see that how digestion and feeding, what are mechanism of digestion and means in the hydra. So now see, body cavity we discussed called intron cylindron because it had only one opening serving for both for ingression and egation. Diploblastic organization means they have endoderm. Endoderm, keep in mind that endoderm have glandular cells. Glandular cells means the gland cells which secrete enzymes for extracellular digestion in the intron cavity. And other cells also present in this endoderm that are flagellated, means they have flagella. And flagellated cells, you know, are called musculoepithelial cells because they form surface, inner surface, that's are the epithelial cells, and they are actually contracted, the contractile, that's why they are called flagellated musculoepithelial cells. They also help in distribution of means circulation of food enzymes. Hence they are called, they help in mechanical digestion. It means there are two kinds of digestion. One, mechanical digestion means physical breakdown of food particle into smaller one, and other is chemical digestion means with the action of enzymes the food is broken down. That is chemical digestion. And other thing we have learned from this digestion of hydra is that it also performs firstly extracellular digestion, means digestion takes place inside this gastrovascular cavity, that is outside of the cells. The glandular cells lining the endodermis, they secrete enzymes and help in digestion of the complex food into smaller food. This smaller food becomes semi-digested. This semi-digested food were distributed by the action of flagellated musculoepithelial cells circulates throughout the gastrovascular lining, and there is a phagocytic action of these cells. They engulf the semi-digested food, they ingest the semi-digested food inside and help in further breakdown to simplest and soluble form. So now the phagocytized food is completely digested inside the cells. It means this is intracellular digestion. It means that overall we see that hydra starts extracellular digestion as well as intracellular digestion. Now we have to come to know that how it attacks on its prey and how it feeds them. One thing we have discussed, when any organism is brushed against projecting cnidocytes, I will show the cnidocytes that where, what are cnidocytes and where are cnidocytes. On tentacle, first thing is clear that cnidocytes of nematocytes or stings, means that's why the cnidocytes cells are called stinging cells. They use nematocytes as stinging cells to produce nematocytes which help to paralyze the prey. Now you see that these cnidocytes of nematocytes are present on tentacles which help to paralyze the prey. Tentacles also, we already said, that help in ingression process, that it also helps in feeding process, engulfing food inside the intron cavity. Now, tentacles, if you see that these cells, I have drawn figures, that these cells are present in the tentacles, they are stinging cells, cnidocyte. Now you see that this cnidocyte of the cnidocytes is called a trigger. This is also called a trigger. When any organism come in contact or brushed against this nido side, means this trigger, that this is firstly that main characteristic feature of this phylum is nidocytes, nematocytes. Nidocytes are nematocytes. That's why they are called Cnidaria. Now I have drawn two figures of these nematocyte cells, and I also show each part of the cell. But these cells, when not attacking or targeting to any organism, if not touched or brushed against these nidocytes or triggers, then they are in a rest position called uncharged. Uncharged, you see that this is outer this capsule, this is capsule, and this is a hollow thread, and this is a lid, and this is a nidocyle or trigger. When any organism is brushed against this trigger, the lid is opened and the hollow thread comes out and just touch the prey and paralyze it. Means it discharges poisonous contents over that organism and becomes discharged. So this is uncharged nidocyte, and this is charged one. Means during charging, you see that nidocyte has triggered out the hollow thread over the prey and paralyzed the prey. So in this way, if we see that, now again we see that when it triggers, when these nidocyte cells are triggered to paralyze the prey, and with the help of these tentacles, the food, means that paralyzed prey is ingested or ingested into the hollow cavity, that is also called gastrovascular cavity, because their digestion occurs, and their digestion occurs is called extracellular digestion, and here the food become digested, but it's called semi-digested food particles. Next trend will be that already we have discussed that endodermis is consisting of two kinds of cells. One, glandular cells that secrete out enzymes for digestion of that food, it's called chemical digestion. Another kind of cell was flagellated muscoepithelial cells, which help to circulate the semi-digested food throughout the inner surface of the gastrovascular cavity, and also they engulf these semi-digested food inside them. This action is called phagocytosis. So through phagocytosis, when they ingested the semi-digested food inside the cells, where the lysosomes start their action and produce enzymes over that, and they digest completely carbohydrates, lipids, proteins into the simplest and soluble form. Where they now the question is this: how this completely digested food through process of intracellular digestion in endodermis, means in flagellated muscoepithelial cells, how it just passes or transport to the ectodermal cells. Through mesogilia, it is diffused out simply, means there is no any transport system, but simple diffusion. Simplest type of transport is simple diffusion. Through diffusion, these digested food particles from the ectodermal cells passes to the ectodermal cells, where they are utilized and which we call it assimilation. And remaining undigested food particle, just removes out from the same opening that we already discussed, that this opening is a one opening only, and that's why we can say that its digestive system is a snake-like, because starting animals had a snake-like digestive system. Only one opening serving for mouth and means for ingestion and egestion. So remaining undigested food is removed out from the same opening. This process is called egestion. Thank you very much.